Welcome to another episode of Live from the Wish House with me, Cris Spinner. If you're a regular, welcome back. And if it's your first time, I'm so happy you're joining us. My path profoundly changed when my son was diagnosed with autism. My marriage collapsed, and I began to develop my own Cris philosophies to navigate and thrive. I'm here to connect with you, to share and learn, and together we can open our minds to creating the life you love to live. Please subscribe, like, share, and most importantly, comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, feelings, and stories. In the last podcast, I referenced making a vision board for positivity and for manifestation. So in this episode, I'm going to actually show you how to make one and chat about why this is a great idea. So if you're accessing the podcast simply in audio, the chat will definitely be beneficial. If you're watching the chat on YouTube or other ways to access my podcast, you'll be able to actually see what's happening and use it for your own reference. Or you can have your own vision board party at home and use my video as your catalyst. Vision boards. Why do we make vision boards? Well, vision boards are a way for us to create something that we can look at and stimulate positive thinking in our mind so as to achieve the goals or to get the things that we want to have in our life. It's not a magic board. It has nothing to do with making a wish and hoping it comes true. In fact, it's not anything for yearning. Yearning puts us in a different state of mind. It's a board that we're creating that we can hang somewhere and look at and get the feeling that what we're seeing is what we already have. That's how things become real in our lives. If we think about it, we can actually have that. How we think about it is what's most important. But before we get there, I'm going to show you the basic things that you'll need. You can actually make a vision board in a multitude of ways. You can do it on your computer. You can copy and paste pictures. There's all sorts of books that are out there now with ready-made samples of things that you can use either digitally or physically. I prefer the old-fashioned way of getting a bunch of magazines, a piece of paper, little foam board or construction paper, whatever stronger paper that you have that you can put up somewhere. Doesn't have to be giant, but it can be. I prefer getting the scissors and getting the glue and actually creating something physical in the old-fashioned way. It's very tactile. I'm going to tell you why I like this. I like it because it makes your mind engage in the present. You're going to take magazines and you're going to cut out pictures or words or sayings that will complete a collage so that when you look at that, it is the goals, it is the ideas, it is the things that you want. Most people do them in a new year. I conduct workshops for them in the new year, sometimes in the halfway year mark when your ideas may have changed, or some of the things have already taken root, or some of the things have already taken shape. You can do it at any time. You can do it at the end of the year for the new year. You can do it in any month just because it's time for you to sit down and think about what it is you'd like to change, what it is you'd like to receive, what it is you want. I like to take the magazine and cut out the pictures and words thing because a lot of times there are words, expressions, and things that strike me in the moment. So I have this magazine in front of me, and right on the opening page of the magazine, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little headings. One says feel great. One says be inspired, enjoy, rejuvenate, go for it. I'm telling you the truth. You're going to have to trust me here. That is just what happened. I didn't bring this magazine for that reason. I didn't put it on the top for that reason. I just glanced down and saw that. And in the instant that I saw it, all of those words triggered something in my mind. Things that I'm creating myself this year, musical projects, be inspired. I saw that and thought, I can be inspired for myself. I can be spreading inspiration for others. Go for it. Maybe I have a little bit of a trepidation of doing something. I look down at that. That feels like a little bit of an inspired message. I look at it as nothing is happening here by accident. It's not a coincidence. Maybe it's my mind attracting in what I need to give myself the courage, to give myself that piece of bravery, to give myself the inspiration to move forward and create the circumstances that will get me what I want to have. And here's the thing, it's not all about objects that you want to have. Sometimes people will say to me, well, I don't really have anything that I want, meaning they don't want a new home or they don't want a new car. Or conversely, I have people that will say to me, oh yeah, I'm going to cut out a big giant mansion on the water and I'm going to put it on there. But is that really what they want? Is that really what you want? When you come to this exercise, you want to think about what is it that you want? What is it that's taken hold in your heart, in your mind, in your soul? What is it that is authentically part of your journey? Not just the standard, I want a mansion by the water, or I want a car, a very fancy car, a Lamborghini. I want it to be red. Yeah, those are kind of, and maybe you do want that, but those are kind of frivolous things that we say we want when we're asked, what would you want? Don't go for those kind of pie in the sky things for the fun of it. If it's something you really want, then it's not pie in the sky. As I say to people all the time, we can do whatever we really want to do, and we can have whatever it is we really want to have. Oftentimes when I'm speaking about this, I say, yeah, we want to try to attract those things into our life and do the inspired work around that. It's easier to do before we have limitations. That's why when I do this project with high school students or college students, I often say, think about the things that you want before you have the limitations. Life always brings us limitations. Once you add a partner to your life, you have to ask someone else if that's okay with that person. Once you add children to your life, the children are going to become your first thought. Once you've decided you're going to take a job that works more hours than you'd like to work, then you're going to be a part of that. Limitations will always come into your way, but you can always make the change. You can always take the risk. You can always do what it is that you want to do. You have to keep that in your mindset. So what we're going to do today, and I'm going to do just a little bit of an example for you. This isn't exactly perhaps the vision board that I would be making on a daily basis, but if I see things, I'm kind of doing this as a collective. If I see something that I like, I'm going to use that. If I see something that I think we all like, I'm going to use that too. So the first thing I'm going to do is I was very attracted to those words. It came pretty quickly to me. So I would just cut out my little go for it here. And you can be as neat or as not neat. This is your board. It's kind of like your diary. You don't have to show anybody your finished product. You can have a vision board party. You can sit with friends and share everything you'd like to share with them. You can say to your friends, I'm going to do this with you, but I'm not going to tell you what all of it means. And now, remember when you're in high school, if you're a certain age, you'll remember doing this kind of thing. We used to make little collages of words and pictures to give to friends I used to do it for my friends' birthdays. I used to cut out funny sayings that we said or things that represented places we went to eat or funny things that we did together. And I would make a little collage for them. And that's what this reminds me of. Only this one has my ideas, my aspirations on them. Okay, I'm just going to do those two for now. I've just put them in any order. You can also have paints, markers, stickers, things that can cover up your board to make you feel like, oh, I like looking at that. You don't have to put things that you want all of the time or things that you are trying to manifest all of the time. You can put things that you just like to look at. In fact, I have a folder in Pinterest called Things That I Like to Look At. And in there are all sorts of fun things that I liked from my childhood, or great Christmas decorations in houses that I think are exciting to see. There's one picture of sea glass. I just loved the way it looked. This can also enhance, because when you're looking at a picture of something that you want next to something that you just love, it keeps your mind in a positive state. Think about it. Think about what the mind takes in. You turn on the news. Everybody says the news is depressing. It is depressing. You turn on the news, like if you turn on local news, have you ever noticed that there's so many bad stories? There's so many stories of things that we don't really want to hear about, but somehow we don't turn that program off. And after that half an hour, you come away feeling kind of down or sour or depressed or sad. You don't feel ready to go on and take on the world. What we see, what we are constantly looking at, really does frame our mind. And what we want to do is do as much as we can to keep our mind in a positive state. I just cut out the word successes because I want a lot of those in my year that's coming up. We want to keep our mind in the most positive vibe we can. Positivity and gratitude. Keeping ourselves buoyant with that kind of feeling helps us to not only believe we can achieve what we want to achieve, but it attracts what we want to attract. I'll tell you a quick story that I got off of the movie or the book, The Secret. Same, it was in both movie and the book. And I've tried it in my own head, and it totally is true. Have you ever driven, like you're late for something and all you say in your head is, I can't get a red light. I can't get a red light. I can't get a red light. And you're on the street and every single light is red. Every single light is red. That's because there's something to that attraction piece. If you're concentrating solely on red light, what do they say? The universe doesn't hear, I can't get a red light. It just hears red light. What are you manifesting? The object that you keep talking about is the red light, and so you get them. Does that happen all the time? Depends on what your mind is truly concentrating on. I find often if I say, oh my God, I'm late, I'm just going to intend I'm going to get all the green lights I need. And I just believe that. Let it go. And I'm telling you, not a red light to be found. It's not a matter of wishing or making a magic spell. It's a matter of turning it over. Staying in the state of positivity, looking at the things that make me feel positive, seeing all the green lights in my mind's eye, and then letting it go. I read an article on vision boarding, and the gal had said, if you want a car, say you want a new car this year, and it's something that you're really, really looking for, and you have a specific brand in mind, that sometimes if we go to a magazine and spend all of our time looking for the brand of car, looking for the color of the car, it's not doing us any real good. She suggested what we should do is find a picture of a steering wheel so that you're sitting behind the steering wheel and you're looking out through the window. And that when you see that, you're putting your mind, you're putting your body in the present moment of being in that car and driving it down the highway. And whatever's in that picture, colored leaves on the tree, or there's the beach, or there's some children playing, that by thinking about that experience, then that brings about more ways to attract what it is that you want into your life. Okay, I'm thinking I want a pet this year. I was thinking about getting a pet. I can't get a dog. Dogs seem like a lot of work. Everybody tells me the cats seem so much less. So I've been toying with the idea. I've been toying with the idea of a cat. So here's a cute one. It doesn't look like I have to commit to this cat. This cat picture, she's got her tongue sticking out. She doesn't feel like all that real yet. But I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to put her in. there's something that when I see it's going to make me happy. That little cute cat with her tongue sticking out, making me feel like I might be able to actually manage that in my busy life. As I said, I'm doing this as a collective vision board. So, as an example, there we are. Be inspired, and there's my cat. I didn't bring any stickers or any things to color with today to make it look so fancy, but just watching me do this and getting the inspired thought of here's one, changing the world. There's something for me. So this is an article. It's called Girls Changing the World, but I'm not going to put girls there. I'm just going to take changing the world. And I see that in real time, and I'm thinking, isn't that what I'm doing? I'm podcasting. Isn't that a goal? To change the world, one person at a time. I'm in college, let's say, and I'm studying to be in the medical profession. Here's a successful girl, and she's doing something at her doctor lab table. And so that is what I want this year, to feel confident and to be successful in my chosen profession. So far I have go for it, be inspired, successes, changing the world, the little fun cat I think I'm going to have, and my goal of being a successful person in the medical field. There we have it. You can put it any way you want. You can just paste them all together with no borders. What it's supposed to do is simply keep your mind in a positive state, in a jovial state, in a fun state, in the gratitude, the attitude of gratitude that will get you going, that will make you think, I can achieve that. I can have that. If you look at this every single day, here's something. This really is me. Sleep soundly. I'm cutting that out, and I'm cutting out this gal too, because she looks like she's sleeping soundly. Because this is something I don't do. My mind is always racing. Once I'm asleep, I sleep. So there's a goal. There's something for me to look at. Sleeping soundly. The goal is always to see this and not to yearn. The goal is always to see this and to feel like I have that. There is my life. That is my want, but you have to put yourself in the state of, I already have that. There's that cat. When I look at that cat, I have to think about how cute it's going to be sitting next to me at night, watching TV, because that's what I want. I want a pet that's going to sit next to me. You don't want to look at this and yearn, because when we yearn for something, when we hope for something, we put ourselves in a different mindset. I'm going to show you what I mean. So if I'm looking at this cat and I'm thinking, I want that cat. If you can see me, you can see my face. If you can't see me at this moment, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to stress my voice. I want that cat. You hear the difference? You see the difference? You're putting in a yearning. You've pushed the object, you pushed the desire, you pushed the dream further away by doing that. If I look at that cat and say, that cat is so cute. I can't believe she's so cuddly while I'm watching TV. You see, if you can see my face, my whole demeanor has changed. If you can't, I'll say it again. That cat is so cute while I'm watching TV. Her tail is moving back and forth, and she's purring. See, when I'm imagining, when I'm creating in my head the experience of having that cat, I'm putting out the vibration. It's not magic. It's just what is. I'm putting out that positive vibration. to get that wonderful experience in my life. A vision board should not make you anxious. You should not see go for it and then bite your nails and think, oh, how can I go for it? I don't think I can do it. No, you should see go for it and just flip your hair and say, I'm going to go for it. That's right. I'm going for that promotion. That go for it represents me asking for that raise. And that raise is mine. And that raise is going to be mine. And that's going to give me more money that I need so I can go out and get my cat all the food my cat wants. That's what a vision board should do for you. It should be like a little friend that you see every single day, filled up with all of the things that you want to attract into your life, whether you want to attract them into your life this year, this decade, or this century. You might be thinking, I want a family. I want a family. You don't want it this year, but you want a family in your life. There it is. It's on your list. It's ready to be checked off. That's what a vision board should do for you. And when you're creating the vision board, it's complete attraction that you see something that will inspire you to get what you want, to have the kind of life that you love to live, to create the kind of life that you love to live. And there's specifics too. You might say, this is the year I'm going to own my home. I've done a lot of inspired work around that. And I want to find a picture of a home. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. You can do that. Here's my home. You see, I believe in this because I did not know there was a home in this book. But here's a home. And I can use this home as my piece to attract. Happens to be a little beige home. That's my color. I'd like to see that home be something in my future. So I'm going to put it right here because I specifically want that goal. I specifically want to own my own home this year. So having that there is going to remind me every single day. That's right. It's coming. That's right. It's here. That's right. That is part of my world, is that home. So perhaps seeing the actual object that I'm questing for will make me feel good about it. Or perhaps just a home. Doesn't matter. Maybe it's not my style of home, but by putting that there, it triggers my mind. I happen to think it's an attractive one. So when I look at it, I'll be able to think, oh yeah, my home is coming. My home is here. I'm on my way to getting my home. That's the language that we want to use. Not, I wish I had a home, not holding our hands together, not, I hope that comes for me this year, because the minute we start that is the minute we push it further away. It's got to be I can't control it, but I know I have it. And the more things that we can put on here, words, pictures, ideas, goals that inspire us, then we hang it where we'd like to see it, in our bedroom, on our refrigerator, keep it in a drawer that we look at every single day, keep it in the back seat of your car, bring it to your office. Some people do elaborate vision boards and frame them, take them out each year, and they're framed in their home. I have a friend that has one framed and she has it on her dresser. It leans there. It's a really pretty frame. It looks like it's just part of the landscape. That's what you want. You want it to be part of the landscape. You want to keep remembering that things that are tangible, things that you see, filling our minds with any kind of positivity that we can is going to boost us. That's why we love to walk in gardens. We're surrounded by fragrance. We're surrounded by flowers. It lifts our mood and it helps us to continue to manifest what it is that we're looking for in our life. You know, people will say the new term is doom scrolling. I think they call it doom scrolling because when you're done doing that, you're probably at the lowest vibrational that you can possibly be at. You know, you're just doom scrolling. You're just looking and things are aggravating you or scaring you, or you feel out of control for people's opinions that you really don't jibe with. It's not a good way to help yourself to manifest. It's not simply, I'm going to be positive every day and nothing is going to befall me that isn't positive. No, it's keeping yourself it's like exercise. It's keeping yourself in a positive mindset It's taking a look and seeing the results of the exercise or feeling so great after a walk on a beautiful day. That's what vision boarding can do for you. You see it. It's not a doom scroll. It's however long you want to look at it. You can sit there with your cup of tea and get lost in it. Get lost in your own desires for what you want to accomplish. Or you can just wink at it every day out the door. Oh yeah, see ya. I see my house. Oh yeah, there's my kitty. Oh, there's my great medical career. There's my words for today. Success. Success is all day. Better that than getting yourself in your head, ruminating about negativity, what won't go right, what could possibly go wrong, fear of succeeding, not seeing yourself, as Marianne Williams says, brilliant and talented and gorgeous, not seeing yourself as all of those things because you've allowed your mind to see things that are enhancing that thought. Make yourself a vision board. It's a fun activity. Do it with friends. Do it by yourself. Last year I did mine alone. The year before I did it with friends. Last year I made a cup of tea. I sat at the kitchen table a couple days after New Year, put on some music, and sat there and got lost in my own thoughts. It came out so beautiful. I haven't really done, to be honest, mine this year, but I have the whole month. I like to do it in the month of January. Like I said, did another one last year in a workshop in June. Any day is a good day to create something that you love to look at and that you want to quest for. And then let it go. That's what's great about a vision board. You see it and you let it go. You don't control it. You don't look at the vision board and say, oh, there's a house. How am I going to get it? I have to save. Let me grab my checkbook. Let me budget my money. No, that's not how you do it. You say, oh, there's my house. That's it. Oh, yeah. I see myself in that kitchen. It's going to look great with my menorah in the window for Hanukkah. That's going to look really great with my colored lights strung across the roof. There's something I'll have to go buy. Sometimes I buy things that will go with what I see on my vision board and just tuck them away in my drawer. And I'm telling you, there's a time I take them out and use them. Again, it's not magic. It's not wishful thinking. It's the intention to create something that you love to look at, to focus in your desires, to do it in present time, to feel and see what you're creating. In my last episode of my podcast, which you have to go and listen to, I talked about a young child creating their first piece of art. And I referenced when we make the tree and cut out the construction paper leaves. That's what this is. It's a mindset of a child. The innocence is all here. We're cutting out our construction paper leaves of our life, putting them on our piece of paper, hanging them where we want to see it, and believing that can happen. And it will. See you next time at the Wish House.